time again. We are live at the Women in Print 2026. We are coming direct from Johannesburg South. The venue is called The Chosen Venue. It is a beautiful venue, and the venue matches the ladies. The ladies are gorgeous, and it really suits the theme because we are here to celebrate women. And next to me is another lady doing amazing things, and I'm going to ask her to introduce herself. Hi, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Thank you. What's your name?
My name is Yamkela Kosa-Gwekati. I am the founder of Blank Page Books and Lulu Africa. We are a publishing house. Where we publish books, business books, biography books, and children's books and financial literacy.
And because we're here celebrating women and you're a female founder, what is like the one piece of advice that you would give to a female looking to join the print industry?
Passion. Have passion for it. And sometimes we don't know. I was just talking to a gentleman right now that people actually don't know our industry. They don't know what it's about. They don't know the career options that are in our industry. So find what you're passionate about, because it's an industry. It's an industry that's about visual, right? And if you're not passionate about it, then it's gonna show in your work. So be passionate about it, and choose what you love and go for it.
Thank you so much. And so I was attracted to the store because I saw books. And I love books, and I love the name Lulu Africa. So before we leave, if somebody wants to get a book, how can they find you? How can they contact you?
So they can find us at blankpagebooks.africa or at luluafrica.com, and all our books are found at all the bookstores. So you can also go into the bookstores as well. And other small bookstores as well. Yeah, so we are basically everywhere. Even when you search us on the internet, that's where you're gonna find us. So we are Lulu Africa or Blank Page Books, luluafrica.com, blankpagebooks.africa, or at our bookstores. Yeah.
Thank you very much. I love you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our first panel discussion of the day, Women Who Lead. Please join me in welcoming our moderator, Christine Foxwell, Global CEO and founder of Ignite Purpose. Joining her on stage are Ayanda Shabangu, Central Chamber Vice Chairperson and Group HR, Bidvest Data. Alinah Fosi, CEO of the Government Printing Works, GPW. Teresa Adinolfi, Managing Director of Redfern. Charnia Yapp, Editor and Events Planner at Practical Publishing. Ladies and gentlemen, please give them a warm Women in Print welcome as they take the stage for Women Who Lead.
So, I'd love your feedback on this. 5 years ago, when you first sat on this stage, what were you hoping women would take away from that conversation?
Okay, so 5 years ago, I definitely felt more nervous than I'm feeling today. Let's put it that way. But what I wanted women to feel and understand was you counted. You're worth every ounce of yourself. And if I can do it, also 5 foot whatever, anybody else can do it. You just got to show up and participate.
I love that.
5 years ago, this was just a concept, right?
Yeah.
And it was a concept with the intention of becoming greatness. Understand who you are within this industry, because this industry has not always been friendly to women. But when you look around the room and you see how many women have changed and moved the industry forward, you see the value of women in print.
Oh, I love that. Thank you. That's excellent.
5 years ago, Abisha created a platform for women. Like Teresa said, we were very nervous that first panel. There were so many WhatsApp discussions going on, so many group calls. It was, we were preparing for a very big thing. And this week, I thought about it this morning. I was like, sure, but I didn't see the questions. But I got to ask the questions the last time, so I forgot that I might have to answer some. But I think that Women in Print in the 5 years has just created an awareness, a platform, a beautiful space where women in our industry can connect. And companies in the industry that have been supporting Women in Print, they've really given us this opportunity every time to dress in our finest, show up for each other, and hear new women speak at every event. And I love that there's opportunities for new women at every event. Thank you.
That's amazing. Thank you.
5 years ago, when I reflect on that, what I remember is that it ignited a spark in me and fueled me with purpose, just to be around these beautiful ladies around the room. And I just embraced that opportunity because it's about collective learning. You know, when we sit like this as individuals, we don't just sit, we talk. We impart knowledge, we learn from each other, we share so much. And I think for me, today is a reflection of that 5 years, because like Abisha said, we've been part of the journey. And I see my fellow panel members, we've been here together. There's one who couldn't make it today, but we've been there. And allow me to take some of the women who were not here on the journey, just for a few seconds. I remember some of the key themes that we focused on. Ladies, do you remember? Leaning on each other. You are my sister. Remember that? Yes. You know, it keeps coming back to mind to say, once you embrace that collectivism, you are able to embrace your fellow woman as your sister. And in this rapidly changing world where everybody just gets to be so self-consumed, it's always best to sit back and reflect that you do have a sister just next to you. You do have a sister, and you can lean on them. And that was part of our journey. And I remember we were hilarious. That session was explosive. We were all over. We were like hugging each other. And maybe I should remind them, can you tell a person next to you that you are a sister? You are my sister. You see, this is what it did.
My sister too, yeah?
You are my sister too.
Yeah.
You see, it did that. And it was such a memorable event for me. The second one was the hats we wear. Do you remember? Yes. The hats we wear, and that session represented the many roles and responsibilities that we play. I was listening to you carefully, and I was saying, I wonder how many hats she wears in her life. You know, it looks like, you know, most of us, some of them are big, some are small, some are pink, yellow, different shapes, sizes, but we wear them, don't we? We do. And when we do that, we show up and we show off sometimes, don't we? We do. And we do it with precision. So we love that. And it's good that everyone sitting here today knows their roles. You know, sisters, mothers, aunts, lover, wives, you name it, teachers, you know, most of us. And in that session, we talked about aspirant women who would like to be where we are. And we said, we can take you by hand. Then we will guide you on your own journey, not our journey. We've been there. And I remember that one of them was saying, no, we've been there, done it. But we need to guide you on your journey, and which is why I really appreciate the mentorship program that is being launched, that has been launched. We also have at Government Printing Works our own mentorship program, because it helps you. Mentorship leads to transformative leadership. That's where you build leadership. That's where you cook them, when they're still, at that tender age. So we really embrace that as well. The last one that I just want to say as a key highlight is filling up our own cups. Do you remember, ladies? Yes. And we said, remember, an empty cup cannot pour out. Remember. So we need to fill our cups, but you have to know when to put a limit, where to draw a line. Remember. Because if you keep on pouring and pouring and pouring, you are left with nothing. But then we said, as women, let us embrace each other. Let us fill each other's cups where we can. But get to a point where you say, can I have some me time? It's not being selfish. It's my way of saying, I want my space. I want to recharge. I want to reconnect with myself. And eventually when I come back a better person. So it's represented that journey for us, and each and every year was just a memorable event for the women in print. And I just want to say, as we sit here today, we're talking digitalization, eh? Yeah, back then it started as an event, and we were thinking, now I think it's a movement. Abisha would agree. And he was actually bragging, telling me that each and every province has their own theme, and then us is the women who lead in print. And I'm saying, yes, it's of course, that's what we're doing. But the reality is that we lead with our intention to impart knowledge and to mentor and coach those who are coming up, so that one day they're actually even better than us, because leaders replicate themselves. Thanks.
Wow, that was great. Thank you. You've got to be on stage with me next time. How do you feel emotionally returning to the stage today? What's going on for you in your heart?
So I'm extremely excited because this movement has grown. And to see all these women taking part and really coming to this event is so rewarding, I'm sure for Abisha, but for all of us that started, it's like, yes, this worked, And we weren't sure how it was going to pan out. But I really hope that and there are some phenomenal women over here, young women that have entered the industry. And in the mentorship program, I was absolutely blown away by their character, their resilience, and their skills. I felt they didn't need me, but together it was phenomenal. So may this movement continue. I'm very, very excited. And really, that's how I feel. I just feel like I want to dance right now on the stage.
And she could lead us in dance. She could lead us.
I love it. Are the rest of you just as excited?
Apart from excitement, there's pride, right? There's a number of young ladies, Terry, that I hear that 5 years ago, when I met them, they said, I'm just starting in the industry, or I'm a learner.
Yes.
I've come on a learnership in whatever organization. Some of them are sales managers now.
Oh man, that is a success story.
Total. And the connections that all of those individuals have made in this group,
yes,
and have taken those connections forward to actually build their own careers. And would it really have been possible without women in print? Maybe.
yes.
But women in print propelled it. So proud.
I love that. Shall we let them give themselves a hand? Yes. Well done. How do you feel? How do you feel?
They just make everybody envious of the learning, the key learnings, the sharing, the networking that they've done with everyone around the house. So, really for me, I am fulfilled being here. Thanks.
Thank you.
I agree with all three of you. But I was sitting here feeling a little bit emotional even. I've teared up a few times, so don't look at me for too long, because I am having a moment. And it's just because it's so special. And it means so much, and it's still here, and we all here, and it's growing from strength to strength. So thank you. You can tear up with me.
Yes. I have so many questions and we've got such a little bit of time. What do you think the next 5 years looks like for women in print? Give me your projection. Let me reframe it. In your vision, what does it look like? What impact are we making?
Can I go first?
Yeah, go.
I think that with the people that have been behind building Women in Print, I expect great things. And Women in Print has created a platform that has created so many other opportunities for women. I know they're going to be talking about the Printer Mentorship Program, and that's been such an important spin-off. I'm involved in the Change One Women movement, and what you said earlier, like just every day, if you just make a small change in someone else's life, you don't have to photograph it and post it, because who does that? But just be kind to the women in the industry, the lady next to you, your sister, your team, and my sister is here, so I've got to really look out for her. But I think that it's just going to have a positive effect on having more things in place, more tools, more gatherings, more reasons to connect for women in the industry going forward. So the next 5 years for me, I think they look great.
Wonderful. Who's next? Who's going to add to that? Come on, give me the
So the next 5 years is going to be different. We are exposed to digital everything. I mean, just earlier we were sitting around the table and everyone was on their cell phone because they were posting. But like just today in my little team, I have 5 ladies that come to the Joburg one that we pay for, and 5 in Cape Town. And 3 said to me, but I want to be there. And I said, fantastic, you come and be here. Beautiful. And they have paid for themselves, and to me, that is the future of the next 5 years. There's going to be more people coming to this, more people engaging. And, you know, Abisha said I'm an ambassador to Printing SA. But ladies and gentlemen, if you don't participate in something that you belong to, you're not going to get anywhere. So I really encourage the participation, because by participating, you will engage, you will do more, you will be more, and you'll be inspired by more. So it's just more and more and more. So the next 5 years is going to be different, digitally, but we're still human beings and we still need to touch each other. And that's mentally and a hug. We all need each other, despite AI. So that's how I see it.
Thank you. I love that.
You know, it's strange. We've never discussed the fact that a lot of the people we bring from our organizations to this business, to this event, are chosen. Yes. And we've got 3 tables here today. And every single person that has come with us is because of what they've done within their own individual space. How they've grown our individual businesses to be the great powerhouses that they are. So I think the next 5 years is going to be very difficult. And I happen to have one of our MEs here. It's going to be very difficult for her to then determine who then comes in the next group, because everybody's going to push harder. Because when they go back to the office and they talk about how much they've learned from the great minds that sit here, it then becomes competition to say, I want to be back again.
Absolutely.
I want to grow with this women in print. And I think, Abisha, you might have to get a double space, because that's how big this is going to be.
I love that.
I agree with all the comments. I really do. And indeed, even if we haven't spoken, I think our thinking does resonate, you know, with what we are saying as a panel. Maybe it's because we've been together for so long. We start thinking alike. We'll end up completing each other's statements. But anyway, it's actually a good thing. The next 5 years are going to be different. And I want to also echo what she's just said. Because if you look at the manner in which the printing industry is rapidly changing into a digital space, it then nudges us to start saying, are we building enough leaders? Are we embracing these opportunities? In our mentorship program, are we having the right conversations that prepares those who are coming up for that space? We will need more support. You know, mentors will need to delve into that space with intention, with certainty, and with the resolution of saying, this vision is a collective one, and we are going to move into the digital space. However, I always caution when I talk about digital space to say, where I work, I normally say to everyone that I speak to, even the executives, that printing will not die. Printing will not die.
Because all of us want to hold something.
Printing will never die. We can do all the digitization we want, but printing shall remain, because this is what we have done the rest of our lives. And you know, even now in countries where there's movements against digital IDs, like the UK, in other countries you find that those who have moved ahead, I know Estonia is one of them, that have embraced digitization, such their pass. You'll find a card, a bank card. But they do have a digital one on the phone as well, meaning that people will prefer a digital twin approach instead of just going completely digital. So that's the space where we're navigating, but I know that as we navigate towards the space, towards this collective learning, this movement that we have started, we are facing a brighter future, and our mentorship program must also have the right conversations. Thanks.
I love that. Now, Abisha, time. Can we have one more insight? Okay. So, what I would love you to do, each of you, is to think of your biggest insight you've had in the last 5 years that you want to pass on to these women as a leadership gift today. What have you learned through the last 5 years with Women in Print, or as a leader in Women in Print, and then what is the gift you're going to give to these wonderful women today to walk away with from each of you? Does that sound okay? Who's going first?
I can start. I believe, and I have a philosophy that says the best gift you can ever give to a person is knowledge.
Thank you.
Knowledge. Empower women, because the emancipation and the power and the empowerment of women should not be negotiated at any stage.
No.
Shouldn't. And that's why even the theme of this year's Women's Month is Empowered Women, Empower the Nation. Because if you empower women, you are actually empowering the entire nation. So as we conclude this program today, I think it's important to then say to all our women, there's two ways of learning. You can go into an institution and get that qualification behind your name so that you don't hide behind somebody's shadow because they have something that you don't have. But the most important thing is to be self-taught.
Thank you.
There are people who are self-taught and they are making waves in the industry. So don't just wait for a piece of paper that has your name on it. Get into the field, learn and empower yourself as well. And I want to believe that if we do that, both approaches will actually get us into a better industry. Thank you.
I love it, and we're going to give you an applause. Thank you.
I'd honestly say, ask the questions. Stand up and be heard. Nobody is going to come and pull you out of your corner and say, there is the promotion, or here is what you need. Unless you stand up and ask the question, unless you stand up and bring out whatever idea, thought process that you've got.
Yes.
There are businesses who've made a lot of money out of one person. Remember, please call me. Out of one person's idea. And that idea you could be sitting with. You could be sitting with an idea that could transform not just you, not just your world, but the livelihood of those that you work with. That one singular idea. And that idea usually comes from learning, asking the questions, knocking at your CEO's door and saying, listen, I know you're busy, but this is what I'm thinking.
Brave.
Be brave. And in the process of being brave, remember that no idea is a stupid idea. No. All you're doing is learning. And you're learning from every step that you take. You just know now not to go through that door because there's a shock. So you try the next door. So I'm asking every single person in here to take the chance. Take the chance with yourself, take a chance with the business, take a chance in everything that you do. Make it happen.
I love it. Yes.
This is my soul sister because we were thinking the same thing. So I'd like to plug into what you were saying. I think that we also have to show people our potential.
Yes.
But as leaders, we need to help people reach their potential, give them the opportunities, but stand up for yourself, ask the questions. Also, don't be scared to make mistakes. There's no mistakes. Mistakes are opportunities to learn and move forward. Like it's a learning each and every single time. So I also just think that the men and women that give other women the opportunity to reach their potential and grow in their business career, in their leadership roles, those are the people you want to be surrounding yourself with. They might be hen's teeth in some places, but look for them and find them because there have been good men in my life that have made a difference in my business career, and I really appreciate them.
We cannot do it without them. Thank you.
We make a good team.
Yes.
So for me, I would say the gift to all of you ladies is, it's similar to what you've all said, is one word, and it's curiosity. Always be curious. Ask why. And come forward with your ideas. In my business, I believe in teamwork. In manufacturing, you can't do without teamwork because you're as strong as your weakest link. That's what I say in our business. And the most important thing for any leader, in my opinion, is using 2 ears and 1 mouth. In other words, listen. And I have heard all the ideas that my team members have brought to me. And I can honestly say that not one has been rubbish. Not one. Everyone has thought it through. Everyone has come forward and put themselves forward and said, look, I don't know, but in my space, I need X, Y, Z. I listen. So as leaders, as peers, listen to one another. It's amazing what everyone has to offer. The magic is there. You've just got to listen. So be curious and listen.
Woohoo! Was the panel amazing?
Give it up for the panel. Ladies, as always, I knew I brought you back for a reason and you're phenomenal. Love you lots. Well done. But before I let you go, there's some questions online. So I've got Julian from Cameroon. And Julian asks, how does a strong woman manage to keep the balance between work and her family? Especially nowadays, we can see children lost without direction, lacking of their mom's love and support. How can we fix it? Any takers?
Such a tough ask, and it's always such a fine line. I'm both. I run a business and I have kids, and I find that you really have to dig deep and you have to have a full glass to pour from, and we often don't put ourselves first because we're putting everyone else first. We have to make that me time. We have to work on ourselves so that we can be a strong support for our family, and we have to set strong boundaries so that we can be there for our families too.
Thank you, Charnia. Julian, from Cameroon, your question has been answered. From the DRC, what does it mean for you today to see more and more women leading? Does it mean that we're going towards a new world order, where men will be doing household duties, educating the children? How do you see the new world order?
So,
nice one from the DRC.
I'd love to answer that. Abisha, maybe some men do want to do that.
Exactly.
And why not? Why not? I mean, I have a husband who helps me, and he can cook. He can load the washing machine, the dishwasher, everything. So it's a partnership, and we must all accept each other for who we are and our strengths.
Amen, sister.
That's it.
Fantastic. Okay, I've got one more online before we go into the audience. This one is from Uganda, and she asks, young African women are still marginalized. Whatever is socially, politically, or economically affecting them, why don't we see a movement of solidarity towards women across the continent, making sure that women are more advocated for and get the necessary training across borders?
I think printing, especially printing SA, with the start of Women in Print, that already is uniting. That already is saying there's a possibility, even flighting this and ensuring that we're being heard across the borders is a way of uniting each other and almost pushing towards the same direction in terms of growing and developing and ensuring that there's growth in females. Women sitting on here right now and women across the floor. And as I've mentioned, there's more and more female leaders. And those female leaders are not scared to pick up the phone. I mean, it's strange, and I'm sorry, my poor ME, I'm going to keep doing this to her. The other day she said she needed to sort something out, and it would have been with a competitor of ours. But for her, it was a case of, you know what, I'm going to pick up the phone and I'm going to phone him, and I'm going to have a conversation, and maybe we can meet each other halfway. And that was something that was never done previously. Previously, we saw each other as competitors, and yet here we are, we're sitting across each other, and we're saying, let's drive the same ideas, let's drive the same growth, because the only way we are going to grow is to do it together.
Yeah. Well, I would like to say to the continent that watch this space. Women in Print is probably coming to a destination near you in the not too distant future, and we're bringing South Africa with us, right guys? Woo! Yes.